play is a huge investment. It is, we have so much money and so much time picking out our instruments invested into them. And I think we have to really know and really learn to be responsible for our gear at the gig while we're on the road. If it's a local gig, whatever it is, it's up to you to be responsible for your gear. So what I want to do is give you kind of a quick story of something happened a number of years ago, and give you some anecdotes to make sure that you don't lose your gear and that you're responsible for it and you won't get it lost. Um, we've all lost gear, right? I've left stuff at gigs. I've lost stuff. I've had stuff stolen. It's a bummer when it happens, but I do think that there are ways that we can prevent that. And I also think that there are ways that we can be responsible for our gear. So if you're just starting out, just playing, new to playing gigs, maybe you're going to go on your first road trip, whatever, you want to make sure that you have your ducks in a row when it comes to this stuff because man, you go out on the road and let's say you're not even going on the road, you're going to a local gig and you know, you're making $100, but if you lose one little thing that is a $50 item, well, there goes half of your money, right? So we want to make sure that we don't lose our gear, leave it behind at the gig, or have it stolen. A number of years ago, I was doing this gig with my band, and it was an afternoon gig, and it was at a club, and it was I think it was a benefit show to raise money for something. I don't really know. It's been quite a while ago, but anyway, we do the gig, and it was a mid-afternoon gig. We probably started at let's say 2 o'clock and played till 6. Did 3 sets. You know, load in, set up, sound check, do the gig, pack it up, go home. Another day at the office, right? No big deal. No big deal at all. I get home from the gig and my phone rings. I look down. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. It's the promoter from the show that we just did. I pick it up and she says to me, she goes, "Hey, does anybody in your band, you guys, does the guitar player play Les Pauls?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, describe them to me." And I'm like, "Well, he's got quite a few of them." I said, "I think the ones he played today had a sunburst one and a black one." She goes, "Yep, they're here." So he left him at the club. So I tried calling him. He didn't pick up. Tried calling his girlfriend. She didn't pick up. Um, so I left him both messages. And so I called the promoter back and I said, I can't get a hold of him, and I live pretty far away. She goes, "Well, I'll lock him up in the office. I'll be safe, but tell him to call me and to get a hold of me, come down and pick him up ASAP." I'm like, "For sure I will." So I let him know. And when he called me back to tell me that what had happened, immediately he goes, "Well, I told so and so, our guy that was our road guy that helped us out. I told him to make sure they were in my truck." And I'm thinking to myself, come on, man. They're your guitars. It's $6,000 worth of guitars, 2,500, $3,000 for a Les Paul. I mean, come on. These are real top end instruments. So anyway, all's well that ends well. He ended up getting his guitars the next day, and it worked out. But still, it just kind of got me to thinking, if something like that happens, if you leave something behind at a gig, man, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot financially, and you're going to lose a piece of gear that you absolutely love. I have this little flight case that I carry around. It's kind of like a little briefcase thing. I should have brought it in to show in the video. It's a little flight case, and it originally was to hold microphones. But what I carry in there is like we travel with our own in-ear monitors. So I have my tablet that I run my in-ear monitors on. I have my in-ear, actually my earbuds, my in-ear monitors in there. I've got some cabling in there. Uh, I've got just all kinds of little nuts and bolts and bits and pieces of stuff that are essential for me to get through the gig, and also some backup stuff if something breaks, right? So with the tablet and the in-ears, I mean, that case alone, there's $2,000 worth of stuff in there. If I lose that, oh my gosh, over and above that, I don't have my in-ear monitors anymore, just the money that I lose, right? So I keep track of that thing. I carry it with me everywhere I go. So again, that's one of the examples. So anyway, here's some tips that I think can help you when you're out there playing gigs or what have you. Make sure you label everything. Now, what I mean by that, I know it's really cool to have your flight case, your big road case, got your name labeled on the side. That looks cool, right? And that is something that we do, and I think that is essential. Um, but label everything inside the case as well. So like if you've got, all of the drum hardware and the drums and stuff for myself, it's pretty, pretty much without saying, yeah, that's my drum hardware. I don't have my name written on it. But if I have like an extra microphone stand or some clips or something like that, I have my name written on it. I have a big spool of XLR cables for microphones that I carry with me, and I carry those with me again for my in-ear system to plug it all in, get everything hooked up. I have my name written on the spool, microphone cables, because there's microphone cables everywhere, right? My microphone cables are colored microphone cables. A lot of times, most stage crews, they just have black microphone cables. Mine are different colors, real vibrant colors, so that I can follow them on stage and that I know they're mine. So that's just kind of a little tip that I tell everybody. But again, my name's written on the spool. I think that's really important. Also, I think it's important to say, it kind of goes without saying, but I think I have to say it. Make sure you lock everything up. And I'm not necessarily talking about locking your road case, right? If somebody's going to steal a road case, they're going to bust it open with a hammer. But I think once the road case is put into its place, whether it's in your car oh, I put my guitar in my car, I got to run back in, I left my jacket. Make sure you lock your car, man. It takes seconds for somebody to open the car, grab the guitar, take off, or whatever it is sitting on the seat. Lock it up. If you're on the road and you're in a trailer, make sure the trailer's locked. For the trailer hitches and the back doors use case hardened locks. We have these round locks that there's no way you could get a saw in to cut them. It's they're really great. Now, is that going to stop somebody from breaking in? No, if somebody wants to break in, they're going to break in, but it is a strong deterrent. We also have what's called a boot. It's a Denver boot. You've probably seen somebody got too many parking tickets and they put a boot on the car so they can't drive it away. Um, we have one of those for a trailer, so we put that on the trailer. We also, when we have the trailer, like if we're staying in a hotel, we kind of, you know, look around and spy things out. And if I can, we'll back the bus and the trailer, the car and the trailer, whatever, all the way up to like if there's a retaining wall or a concrete wall, we back the trailer up so that you got the wall, the trailer, and the vehicle. So it's going to be super hard to steal. And if they start messing with it, the alarm will go off and hopefully that'll alert us and we go out there. So those are some tips there. Also, keep an inventory, right? Uh, Keep an inventory of everything that you have. Sometimes it's just a running inventory in your head, right? But keep that inventory. Okay, I've got, in my case, everything that I have is in 6 road cases, 6 heavy duty flight road cases. So I always count the cases. They're all labeled. They have my name on them, 1 through 6, and I have an inventory of what's inside them. Not too long ago, we were playing a show out in Parker, Arizona, and my stepdad lives not too far from there, and he came down to the show with some of his friends, and as usual, get done with the show, go out, say hi to everybody, and I said, and my normal thing, hey, I don't want to be rude, but I've got to go get packed up. We had like a 2-hour drive from the venue back to the Airbnb that night, so I got to get packed up and get out of here. Oh, no problem at all, man. That's totally cool. Hey, can we come up to the stage and talk to you while you're packing up? Sure, come on up. So they come up, they're talking to me, I'm packing up my stuff. And one of his friends made the comment, man, you sure are organized with this stuff. And really, it comes back to what I'm saying. If I lose one little piece of equipment, not only does it cost me money, but it's essential. I'm going to be using it the next night. This stuff needs to go with me on the road. I need it for the next gig, right? So I don't want to accidentally leave something behind. I think it's really important to be organized. So that was, just one of those little things that somebody had recognized it, right? So when I pack something up, I set the drum set up and I tear it down in the exact reverse way, right? So I set it all up. My inner system gets set up last, my click, all that stuff shows over. I tear down from there and go backwards, right? So it's the same every night. I think it's really important. Also, if you need a piece of gear, a a specific piece of gear for when you get home from the gig or back to the Airbnb. Don't leave it out and then think, well, I'll just put it in the car and I'll get it, or in the bus or in the whatever, and I'll get it when we get back to the Airbnb or get it when I get home. Put it in its case, because if it's not in the case, it'll probably get damaged. And if it's not in the case, it'll probably get lost and left behind. It can be the smallest of things, but again, if you made X amount on the gig and you got to replace that piece of gear and it costs you X, well, you lost that money on the gig. So just put stuff back in the case. And then when you get to wherever you're going, open the case up and take it out. That's what the case is for, right? All of the above, protecting it, make sure it gets there back and forth. Um, Make sure that you're smart during the load ins and load outs, right? So in other words, right, if you're loading into the gig and like we played this gig the other night in Phoenix and you know, not the greatest neighborhood, right? Have somebody stay with the trailer, right? Have one or two of the guys or gals or whoever stay with the trailer, have the other guys go with the gear, get everything to the stage. Always have somebody there because, again, just like I said a minute ago, it takes a second. Somebody walks up, oh, wow, look, what's that cymbal bag sitting right there by the back of the trailer? Bonk, next thing you know, all your cymbals are gone. Or a stick bag, whatever, right? It's really easy to have that stuff stolen. So be smart on, and same thing, reverse unload out, right? Same thing. At the end of the night, when you load out, we call it doing an idiot check, right? Meaning that, hey, did you forget something, you idiot? So we go back in and we check everything. We look around the stage, make sure we didn't leave anything, go into the dressing rooms, go into the green rooms, whatever. Make sure you didn't leave anything, right? And the last thing, once we all get packed in and everything like that, motors fired up, we're getting ready to pull out. My bass player says the same thing every night. Okay, everybody has their wallets, cell phones, and chargers. And we all go, yes, we do. And we're thankful for that because, again, hey, touring nowadays is way different than it was back in the day. Everybody has a cell phone now. You can stay in touch with the family. Wasn't like that back in the day. Sometimes you go days without talking to somebody. If you lose your charger for your cell phone, you might go days without. So you gotta go, and we're so connected to those things. We don't want to lose our charger. So make sure that you have a charger, or have your chargers, your wallets, all that stuff. Don't lose them. Don't leave them at the gig. Last but not least, and this is one that I'm talking to myself, but I got to talk to you too. Make sure, if you can, insure your gear. There's a lot of great companies out there to insure your gear with. Um, Not the most glamorous thing in the world, but again, you know, um, that one case I was talking about, my one little flight case that I carry with me to every gig, it's got all my stuff in it. There's easily $2,000 worth of junk in this little case. That's one case. Out of everything that I personally have, and then everything that the band has. Oh my gosh, there's so much money involved in what it takes to get a band down the road. And again, doesn't matter if you're playing at the level I'm at, or if you're the top dogs and you're playing the arenas and the stadiums of the world, or you're playing a bar gig down at the local bar on the weekends. Gear is expensive. It's easy to lose it. It's easy to get it misplaced. It's easy to get it broken. So make sure you take care of your gear. Make sure that you're the responsible one for your gear. Now, look, if you got an anecdote to anything I just said, and you're like, hey, I always do this, please put it in the comments below. Also, if there's one that you specifically like that I said, please let me know. Put it in the comments below. I really appreciate that. And in the next video, I'll cover a few more things that I think are going to help you with being on the road with your gear. I've got a couple other videos that I want to do, but that's all I'm going to say in this one. Please like and subscribe. I would appreciate that so very, very much. And for more tips like this, check out my latest book, Drum Up Your Business. There's a link to that in the description below as well. You can get the hard copy on my website. You can get the digital version on Hudson Music. And if you need some more coaching tips or anything like this, please reach out to me at my website, bartrobley.com. I would be more than happy to help you avoid some of the pitfalls that I've fallen into and some of the mistakes that I've made in the last 30 plus years in this crazy music business. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.